Here we go.
Hey guys, Eric here for Carolina Autos. Another video on the Chevy Camaros. And I had an interesting request the other day on YouTube. I got a comment saying, you know, since I've had a couple of these cars, a V6, 1LE, an SS 1LE now, just going through some of the differences, and I figured what I would do is kind of pull up the current state of the market, because the Camaro world's a little bit on its head, but there are deals out there. I just wanted to walk through some of the differences too between the 1LT cars, or the LT1, and the SS and the Z01, which I kind of put in the same family, and then the LT1 kind of in a different family. So obviously you can go online right now and configure Chevrolet Camaro on Chevrolet.com, and you're probably going to have trouble getting it. Even if you do find a dealership that has an allocation, the Camaro factory has been really inconsistent over the last year with all of the supply chain issues and the global computer chip shortage. It seems like Chevy has made a decision to focus on trucks and SUVs, which is their bread and butter, so I completely understand it. The Camaro factory, as far as I know, is currently not even running. I don't know what the plans are for the 2023 model year. You know, the Camaro seems to be on its way out, or at least on a chopping block of sorts. So, but right now, you still can order one if you find a dealer with an allocation. You can probably get one for MSRP if you find one on a dealer lot somewhere. So I figured we'd walk through an option of buying one new versus buying one used, and what that kind of looks like right now. So you can see I got a bunch of stuff pulled up, and we'll go through all of it. So first off, you know, go through the list and really think about what you want out of the car. Is it a weekend car? Is it a daily? Is it a second daily? You might drive sometimes. You know, do you do a lot of city driving? Are you more out on the highway all the time? And that's really going to make a decision and make it clear to you what engine you want, what transmission combination. Right out of the gate, if you want a cheap Camaro with a manual transmission and have a lot of fun in it, go for the 4-cylinder turbo and a manual. The V6, yes, it does make more horsepower up top, probably faster in a straight line after, say, 60, 70 miles an hour, but the extra torque of that 2-liter down low is really going to make that manual transmission come alive. I really like those cars. I drove one, an automatic one, before I bought my manual V6 1LE, and I honestly wish I'd gone with the 4-cylinder 1LE. But if you're going to be doing a lot of around town driving, you know, the automatic, and especially if it's a daily, the automatic might make more sense for you. All of the 8 and 10 speed cars now, really strong transmissions. They shift well. I had the privilege of driving a 10-speed Z01 not that long ago, and it changed my entire outlook on automatic transmissions. It was responsive, fast, just made the car come alive. Don't get me wrong, I love having a manual on a back road. That's why I had 2 manual 1LEs. But anyway, we'll digress on that. So you come down here, and let's say you've decided you want a V8. You've got 2 options, 3, you know, if you have the money for a Z01, of course that's what you're going to go with. But if you're kind of stretching yourself at a Z01, there's 2 other options. You've got the LT1 and the SS. You get a 1SS or 2SS. Most of that is interior packaging, or all of it, I think, is interior packaging, the differences. So I've just selected a regular 1SS here, and then on the second tab, I selected a 3.6 with the automatic, because that's, like I said, if you're going to buy the V6, I recommend kind of going more with the automatic. If you want a manual and you want a cheaper one, get the 4-cylinder turbo for the extra torque. But you can see the main differences in headlight shape, front end shape, pretty substantial change for the SS. So this is why, yes, you can get an LT1, but watch what happens when I click this. The LT1 just looks too close to the base car for me. Yes, you get the V8, and yes, you get the performance, but for just a little bit more money, 36 grand, 37 grand versus 40 grand, to get the upgraded looks and the bigger wheels and tires, I think is the way to go. If you're going to go a V8, minimum shoot for the SS. So then in the builder, we get into things like colors, and you can pay a little extra to get some of the premium colors. The packaging, so they got rid of the 1LE package, unfortunately, for the V6 cars and the 4-cylinder cars, the turbo cars. So all of the packages now are basically appearance packages. You can see some of them have some interior things, satin black, RS package. RS is an appearance package now. It has nothing to do with performance. Technology pack, obviously another interior package. So if you want a performance car, if you're going to be on the track, really at this point, if you want a new one, you're going to have to shoot for the V8. Unfortunately, or you're going to have to go used, and we'll look at those options here in a minute. So on the SS, obviously you can take a base SS, pick whatever color you like, and then SS has a lot more in the packaging department. So first thing right off the bat, 7 grand for the SS1LE package. What does that get you? So you get bigger wheels and tires off of the ZL1. You get bigger Brembo brakes. All of the V8 cars come with Brembos standard, but you get bigger calipers and rotors. All of the ZL1s, all of the 1LEs have the Recaro bucket seats, which are fantastic. They come with the appearance of the black hood and the black spoiler. And then they all come with magnetic ride, which is huge if you want a car that can go out on a smooth track and be firmed up, but then also drive on the street and be nice and soft and have a pretty good demeanor. So personally, if you've got the money, worth the 7 grand, just straight out of the gate, no problem at all. You can see really magnifies the look of the car. The stance is so much better. The wheels are just better. It's just a better looking car than a stock SS. So let's uncheck that. You can see just huge difference in appearance and marginal difference in performance. Straight line speed is going to be the same, if not, maybe a little bit worse, because you're carrying around the bigger wheels and tires and rotors and everything. So no extra power, but I mean the extra handling and the magnetic ride control for me is a must. Of course, you can put the magnetic ride on a regular SS if that's what you want to do. And historically, you could only get a 1LE with a manual, but now you can get the 10-speed. And if you're going to go SS, 10-speed. Like I said, when I drove that ZL1, I loved it. Loved the ZL1 with the automatic. Haven't driven an SS, but I feel like it would be the same for me. I do a lot of city driving, and it would make more sense more of the time. So again, you can go with a design package or an appearance package on a lower car to kind of make it look more attractive. So this adds the side skirts and the front splitter off of it looks like a ZL1 basically. But everybody's going to kind of be able to see, it's got the different grille. They look very different from the front. And from the back, obviously with the SS, you'll get the dual mode exhaust with the 1LE package, and you're not going to get that on any of the V6 or 4-cylinder cars anymore. Okay, so that's what you can buy new, some of the things there. We'll flip over and see kind of what the used market looks like at this point. Okay guys, so jumped on Autotrader, just did a little bit of digging around. There is some crazy numbers in here, but we'll walk through kind of some of the options that I found that I think would make the most sense if you're looking for a Camaro. So straight out of the gate, if you are budget constrained, and I do not believe anybody should ever purchase more car than they can comfortably afford, there's some good options out there right now. So a 2019 V6 1LE You see it's got the V6, it's got the manual. Great buy. This is what I had. I had mine in Riverside Blue, but this is an orange one, which I think looks even better. Not a bad looking car at all. Looks like it's been taken pretty good care of. Got the dual mode exhaust. Looks like it probably has some interior upgrades as well. I see leather. I see the Bose sound system, which I recommend spring for, the bigger screen. Doesn't look like it's been torn up. You know, all the Alcantara looks to be in really good shape. Car is completely stock. That's a good buy at $30,000. I know $30,000 for a used car seems like a lot, especially a V6. But compared to some of the other options we're about to go through, it's going to make a lot of sense if you're going to go used. So here's another SS. So this is a V8, 6-speed manual, 38. Again, I think that's a pretty good buy. Actually, hold on a second. I think this is a V6 car. Oh no, it's an LT1. Okay. So LT1, 38. Again, you're going to pay more than the MSRP of a new one, but that's pretty much where the market's at. So if you want to go budget V8, that's about what you can expect to pay. SS's. So here's a used Camaro Ss 2019. A lot of people aren't a big fan of the 2019 design and grille. I personally don't mind it. But 46 grand for a car with 10,000 miles on it. You know, and probably what, multiple owners, or at least one owner we know of. But again, manual, 46,000, and they're saying good price on that, and it's probably where the market's at. Carvana, here's another SS 2021, newer, one owner car, probably 1,000 miles. Somebody probably bought it and couldn't afford it, traded it in, or just got the extra value back out of it. So you can spend a little bit more getting lower miles, newer one, or you can be completely insane and spend $64,000 on an SS. Now, it looks like somebody bought it and immediately returned it. Don't know what's going on there. But it is a manual, and I've never seen $65,000, and I would never pay $65,000 for an SS10E. I would try to order a new one and wait, or just wait until they come back down. You know, you can see you don't put anything down on this. You're looking at a $1,000 payment over 72 months. That's nuts. That's just absolutely nuts. So we'll go through, I'm going to go out and drive my car and go through just a couple of other things to consider. Because when I'm driving my car, it'll remind me of a couple things that, you know, you want to think about if you're going to look at a V6 or a 4-cylinder turbo versus an SS or ZL1. So let's go drive. All right, guys. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Got the camera mounted kind of POV. It's kind of close to my mouth, so hopefully it's not too loud. But just wanted to take my Camaro out. So I've got, for those of you who don't know, a 2020 1SS 1LE with the 6-speed manual, obviously, because they did not make the 1LE package with an automatic transmission in 2020. That came along in 2021. Let me make sure my garage door is not going to hit me. And I also have an MBRP exhaust, for those that don't know. So a regular SS is not going to be as loud as my car. I've also cut the resonators out. So my car is a little bit louder than most of the SS's stock. But she does sound good. But just wanted to run through some of the differences between the V6 cars or the 4-cylinder turbo cars, because they're pretty much the same other than the engine, and the SS, and just kind of talk about, you know, what should you buy. And right out of the gate, what I want to say is, you know, we'll go through some of the differences. Let's do a little pull here. So obviously the SS is quicker than either the turbo or the V6. But one of the things I really wanted to start off here, and kind of the whole theme of the video, is buy the car that you can afford. I said that earlier, I'll say it again, just to reiterate, do not overspend on a car, because you're never going to get the happiness out of it that you think you will. You know, the newness wears off and you're stuck with that payment for 60 months, hopefully, you know, maybe 72 if you had to stretch it a little bit, and maybe you're comfortable with that and you get a good interest rate. But either way, 5 or 6 years is a long time. So when I bought my SS, I overstretched myself. I make quite a bit more money than I did a year and a half ago when I bought this car, so it's not a big deal anymore. But I did overstretch myself, and man, it was tough. You know, having to buy new tires for the thing, and the property insurance is higher. The gas obviously is insane. It doesn't get great mileage. You know, it's just a lot of things that you really need to think about when you're making a decision on a car. In my experience, the V6 cars, especially if you go find a used 1LE, from the V6 1LE to the SS 1LE, in 90% of situations on a back road or something like that, they are shockingly close. I mean, shockingly close. In fact, on a really tight road, I bet I would drive my V6 harder. It's more balanced, less weight over the front end, less scary, makes all of its power up top, basically has no torque, so you can really just thrash the thing, which is fun. You know, that's truly fun. So don't listen to all the haters that say, oh, it's a V8 or it's not a Camaro. Like, screw that. You know, these guys were all born in the 50s and 60s that think stuff like this. That's not the way it is anymore. Buy the car you can afford, and buy a car that you're going to be happy with the performance with for what you pay. The step up from the V6 1LE to my SS 1LE, yes, it's a difference in a straight line. But I mean, either car, in 10 seconds time, you're exceeding every speed limit in America. So, you know, if you just want to cut straight to it, even the 4-cylinder turbo, 10 seconds of acceleration, a wide open throttle, you are violating every single speed limit everywhere. And in my SS, you can do it in second gear, essentially. So, you know, just screw all the haters. If somebody wants to give you a hard time about buying a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder Camaro, you know, just don't listen to them. Their opinion's invalid and worthless anyway, and they have a small ego. But that being said, if you want a V8 and you want to spring for that, and that's, you know, you're fine with the property taxes that are going to be higher, you're fine paying $200 a month in gas and using premium fuel only for that extra performance, or if you're going to a racetrack. You know, if you're going to a racetrack, the SS 1LE is just a whole next level. You know, you can't really go wrong. If you can afford it, go for it. They're great cars. They get head turns everywhere you go. Every time I stop at a gas station or I'm in a drive-through, everybody's like, oh, nice car. You know, I try to keep my car pretty clean. But I got compliments on the V6 car as well. So I think most of the compliments on my V8 are just because it's loud. So everybody associates loud with fast. It's not necessarily a fast car. I drove a ZL1 1LE automatic. That was a fast car. Shockingly so, I would say. It was amazing to me the difference. The difference between a regular SS and a ZL1 is twice the difference between a V6 and an SS. Twice the difference. I mean, it's a whole different car almost. A couple of things to spring for, regardless of what you do. The stock audio system, the base audio system is junk. It's crap. Everybody knows this. If you ask anybody that's had one, especially if you had a Bose, so my V6 1LE had the Bose, that sounds great. And this stock sound system is just unforgivable. You put the loud exhaust on like I do, and at highway speeds, you struggle to hear the radio. I mean, you really have to turn it up, and it doesn't sound good when it's turned up. So magnetic ride, if you're going V8, even if you don't get the 1LE package, magnetic ride is wonderful if you plan on taking your car to a track, but also want to have that smooth kind of controlled ride. You know, you can see I keep my car in touring pretty much all the time, keep the rev matching on. That's another thing to talk about. The V6 cars and the 4-cylinder cars with the manual will not get rev matching. The V8 cars will, the SS and the ZL1. You know, so it comes down to, like I said, it comes down to what you can afford and what you're comfortable pushing your budget to. If I had to do it all over again, I probably would have kept the V6 longer than I did. Until I started actually making more money, and then I would have upgraded, and probably at this point I would have just shot for a ZL1, because that's what I'm kind of contemplating now, is what's next, what's down the road. The Corvette Stingray and Z06, they're a little out of my reach right now. You know, the Stingray on the used market's getting $90,000 to $100,000. I'm not spending that on a car. But if I could find a new ZL1 on a lot somewhere, I would definitely entertain it. Or maybe even a 10-speed SS. I'd like to be able to drive one and see what the difference is. So yeah, so thank you guys for sticking around for the whole video here. I'm gonna go straight through this light and give you guys one last pull just for watching. And go check out any of my other videos. You know, if you need help making a decision, go find some of my old V6 content. I thrashed the heck out of that car a couple times on some of the videos, and you can really get a good idea of what the performance is like versus this. SS is a quick car. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's a dead deer on the side of the road. Let's quiet it down a little bit. So yeah, so that's why you buy a V8, right? Loud performance when you want it. But like I said, if you want to spend, you know, potentially on the used market $10,000, $10,000 to $15,000, and new, you know, $10,000 to $12,000 less, you get 90% of the performance with not so many of the drawbacks. So hopefully you guys out there all watch this video and make a smart decision that you're going to be happy with. And if you do go out and buy a Camaro based on this video, give me feedback. Let me know if you agree, disagree with any or all points, and we will catch you guys in the next video. I'm actually going to head up to, I think, Squirrel Spur up in the mountains today. It's a beautiful day out, and we'll do some filming up there. We'll do a road review with this car. Just go thrash it around a little bit. But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.